when I look back on it now, I thought it was crazy how I didn't play more in that World Cup. Rassie would be number one for sure. I thought he's the best coach I've ever had. I loved him. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think the initial week or two after you retire and there's crickets and there's no messages coming in the group chat, there's no schedules being sent out, you're now in charge of...
I'm not screaming at you when I'm on the
Yeah, ball. Exactly.
Where's my flat white six?
Dave, we're back. Another episode of What the Ruck, and we're
What the Ruck, baby, with Dave Kilcoyne and Zebo. Proper intro.
The dream team, baby.
Do podcast first, we do coaching next. You're my tech coach, baby.
Oh, my man.
Obviously, Simon, yourself and Dave, people have known you for years for donning the green of Ireland, the red of Munster, but now a familiar face on the punditry scene. Something you're enjoying doing?
Loving it, yeah. It's been a nice way to kind of still remain part of the game, I suppose, a little bit. You get to watch and preview lots of rugby, so you feel like you're still involved a bit. And like today, we've Munster Leinster who are playing later on, and you get to go pitch side, feel the atmosphere, have a bit of engagement with the fans, and catch up with old players, old friends, that you play with, like now with Killer, but later on you get to catch up with the Jack Crowleys, the Craig Caseys, those kind of guys. So I'm enjoying keeping my toes in the game, and it's nice to give some knowledge and insight into what the programme's like.
Absolutely. Could you see Simon always going down that route from the changing room days, Dave?
Yes, always.
The loud mouth in the corner.
Yes. Always destined for the big screen. Not the dirty Monday or Tuesday night out
not the Monday
pitch. Yeah, I think that's exactly where he should be.
I'm a Saturday man, aren't I?
Saturday man, baby, and you're a whiskey man.
Mm-hmm.
We were just chatting. We had Murr on last week, and we just said, obviously, you're a year further down the line than we are, and chatted to Conway a little bit a couple of weeks ago, and I remember saying there's this like grace period almost when you hang up the boots for the first few weeks, months, where you're like, no more weekly schedule, pressure's off. You've done it probably for whatever, 13, 14 years, lived your life to the Sunday schedule. You've had a year now without the schedule, so I'm enjoying, obviously, the first couple of months without it now. Tell us about the year without it.
It's very good. The longer it goes, the better it is.
Does it get better?
It gets better.
Because Conway was saying it's a grace period. I'm like, I don't think it's good.
But you know what? Yeah, everybody does it differently when they initially retire. Like I ended up, my wife's Spanish, so I ended up going to Spain for the whole summer, and I found that I was able to get away from rugby and even like the Irish kind of scene, the community aspect of constantly people asking you about rugby and different things. So I was able to go to Spain and totally relax and forget about it all. And then slowly but surely pick it back up again, when it was coming back time to work with Premier and dip the toe into the commentary world. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think the initial week or two after you retire and there's crickets, and there's no messages coming in the group chat, there's no schedules being sent out, you're now in charge of...
I'm not screaming at you when I'm on the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's my flat white six?
Exactly. So I've really enjoyed that. I hated schedules and I hate being told where to be and what to do, so I've enjoyed the freedom of it because it's been 15... Yeah. Straight in the car gone. We've been 15, 20 odd years now playing, so it's nice. I feel free, free again, which is good. I get plenty of time to go watch the kids' sport on weekends, hurling, blitzes, and different things. So being available and stuff to enjoy family time is very important.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think most people obviously do know you were always such a big family man for years, and that's probably something you have now back that you probably missed out on.
So much.
Exactly.
Yeah, you miss out on birthdays, you miss out on, like a lot of firsts, like I would have been on FaceTime with Elvira for my son's first steps, Noah, when he was born, like because I had commitments, and it's luck of the draw at times, but I was just noticing a lot of these firsts are building up, and there was the first rugby match, there was the first soccer game, a first goal scored in a hurling match, and I was like, this is, it's not easy. My heartstrings be pulling on me then for weeks on end. So
who's the first hat-trick? Rassie.
Yeah.
And you gave it the...
Yes. He
doesn't forget. He's got
he's a secret rugby knows. He knows everything.
The gospel according to Dave.
The gospel.
Maybe that should be the real name rather than what's the rule. Obviously, both of you now in this media world. And I suppose there was a time where you might have looked at that in a slightly different way. You're saying you're doing the punditry now, and the stick from hearing pundits over the years, or maybe columns written about you or stuff like that, was that something that ever bothered the two of you? Obviously now you're on the other side now and can see the player's perspective, but there must have been times when maybe form wasn't the best and there was outside noise.
Yeah, I think, well, for me anyway, it would completely depend on who's criticising me, whether I respect their opinion or not. I think there's been plenty of people who couldn't lace or boots, and would be the first persons to jump and you say you're useless at this, useless at that. I think that's part of it. And then there's other people you've played with, peers, I don't know, Rogers or Dricos, who had been in before us and then left and went into that punditry space. And when they criticise, you might listen a little bit more or, continue the conversation. But at the end of the day, they're just doing their job, and now it's us. We're doing our job. We don't get paid to play rugby. We get paid to speak about it.
I'd like to say I could relate, but I never struggled with form, so it was always...
Yeah, baby. Always.
Constant 9, 10 out of 10.
Consistent 4 out of
10. I've never done it, and because when you are you were doing the Munster Leinster game today, is that something you will be aware of? Because and as you said there, I think you can do it, and you can be unbelievably respectful, but also call it as it is. You're not out to... You're just calling it as it is. You're not out to cut someone.
And nothing's personal.
Yeah.
It's never personal. Obviously you can have the crack with the Leinster fans or, rile up a few Leinster players. It's not personal. You're just having a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But when it comes to something blatantly obvious, like poor play, you just got to call it. If a pass is shit or if, that's a useless effort or... You don't have to be so blunt, but you got to call it. And potentially players are very sensitive these days, in terms of...
Names?
No, I just, it's just a younger generation and people get, the wind blows a certain way and their feelings are hurt, So, I think a pinch of salt. I always want to keep a bit of a jovial atmosphere. You want to keep a bit of crack. It has to be entertaining for the viewer, and you want to be having fun doing your job as well. But I think honesty always should be the bedrock of anybody's commentating or punditry or whatever it is. If you're bullshitting, you get caught out pretty fast.
I think Craig Casey definitely was trying to be honest with you.
He was being honest. Not the greatest player to ever play, but the greatest try scorer ever, but I'm dead with his heart. I take it from him though. He's a good man too.
It was a great watch that though.
Yeah. That's the thing.
It shows something different. There's not often there would have been a pundit you could have that crack with on the sideline.
Yeah, for sure. But now the two of us are in the game, it'll be different.
I'm here to cut it over. Legs off everywhere.
You're cut these.
Legs lifted up by his ankles. We get it back here now.
Oh, stop. Yes.
Do you remember first encounter, the two of you? Obviously, a Limerick man, Cork man.
First encounter? Underage? No? 19s or 20s?
19s, 20s. We were chatting about when Rob, remember Rob came in and we had toured to La Rochelle. We bought a dumper, Tony McGann, originally, but I suppose when we first properly broke in, it was probably Rob who came in those years. I remember Luke asked me last day, we were chatting about amazing players we play with. If you look at Doug Howlett, these lads,
crazy.
Casey, James Downey, who in the backs would have influenced you big Zeebs over the years?
Raj, Raj for sure. Raj and Doug, and I'd throw Maffey in there as well for sure along the back line. That would probably be the older generation, and then the players I played with, I would say Keith Earls, Felix Jones, and Andrew Conway. Those three, I had the best relationship with those guys on pitch, and off pitch too. But huge influences while playing. But to answer your question, firstly, Raj and Doug were that when I first came into the team, and the training and the standards and understand the intricacies of the game from wing play and how to really be an effective try scorer And then like with Raj and his understanding of the game and what he wanted from wingers and fullbacks and how we could marry our relationship on the pitch and my skill level and poise for the try line and, you know, his ability to find me at all times on the pitch. I always see him looking for me and giving me that confidence with just a look, you know. Could tell he wanted to get me the ball. And I think I learned a lot from those two guys, and they, like, my career went a certain way after interacting with them all the time. Yeah, like the understanding, the different level, like top tier understanding of the game. They were able to pass snippets on to me.
Are connections like that learned on the pitch, or is it something over time, like you said, like Raj and
I just tend to, like, I wouldn't talk, like I wouldn't be, like early doors anyway, knew in the squad I wasn't, you know, so courageous. But it's different from a rugby point of view. Change the room and having the crack, no problem. But I would rather not try and put someone on the spot with, like, you know, I want to know what you're thinking here. I'll watch what they do in certain situations, you know, and how their skill level doesn't dip, or, you know, work rate off the ball to end up in positions to score tries, like lots of little things. But it was all just me, like, watching and learning, and, you know, trying to take parts of their game to mine. Like skill level, I would always, Raj is right up there, top number one with Finn Russell, very close to him. In terms of skill set and ability to do pass, kick, different types of both pass, I just hugely admired him, and Dougie then the art of finishing. Those were two key influences on me.
Massively. And even when you say, Raj, you're talking about skill set, I'm just a bit of a rugby nose. I'm thinking the hat-trick racing, think of the Wales, the flick, the catch. Did it ever, because it was obviously going in such an insane direction, like we're carving it up, and then maybe you had that where you went to France. Do you ever look back at those years or two where you left and you were looking on at Ireland and they were going well, that you could have been here? Like, did that ever cross your mind? And obviously you were playing with racing, unbelievable, over. But did you ever, like, harbour, like, dreams of playing in that team?
With Ireland?
Yeah.
I'll always want to play for Ireland, you know. It was just a tough, I suppose, sacrifice. And it wasn't really that, I didn't see it as like a guaranteed sacrifice, you know. I thought there is still a chance, considering other people, and there was no formal rule, this and that. There was a lot of grey area, and then some of the conversations we were having with, like, the people in the background, we'll say, around the implications, and suddenly some were put out and some were off you know, it was just very grey area. So it wasn't like set in stone, and I said to myself, obviously, sorry about him.
That's rugby treat.
It was
Yeah, we'll go to Saudi. We're back.
We got 1.5 episodes out of him.
Yeah. But no, I always knew I wanted to play in France, you know, and at some point there would have to be sacrifices, whether it be family or whether it be a jersey, or Munster was a significant sacrifice. You know, people think, oh, it's just playing with that. No, it's my day-to-day life. It's being in my community. It's my family. It's my grandparents, everything, friends, you know. So, like, always there was going to be sacrifice. And I just felt the age profile of my kids at that time, my own age, in the prime of my career, you know, it was the right time to strike, you know, and it's probably the best 3 years of my career, like the happiest I've been, you know, and the best rugby I've played, the best rugby as a team. Went to a Champions Cup final, didn't get over the line. That was something I always wanted to do, always wanted to play in the top 14 since I was a kid watching Toulouse play, you know, and I was able to tick a lot of life experience, a lot of bucket list things off the list while I was living in Paris for 3 years, and I have family who live in Paris. So not playing with Ireland, you know, was shit, and I wish I was part of the Grand Slam team in 2018, I think it was. But I was on my own journey and happy.
Exactly. I think that's kind of the thing you did. What a lot of players probably don't get to. They probably go at the maybe tail end of their career. They don't get the opportunity you did. You went over to racing very much in your prime, went over. And that's, I suppose, the question was like, did you ever look over saying, oh, I wish I was back? But I know the personality type you were. You were completely immersed over.
Oh,
you were happy out scoring tries and drinking there and said he's going.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah,
no, and the friends you meet over there, the people you get to work with, like the wrestling team we had in 2018, 2019 was. I'd tell you, I would have fancied that team to get over the line, but there's different reasons and factors why not. But it was an amazing experience. And I went over, and my first year I had some of the most enjoyable rugby I've ever played. I was ripping up trees, shredding it. Top 14 ain't the same, baby.
Obviously we saw Johnny the couple of years beforehand head over as well, and like you said, there's still probably so many grey areas when it comes to playing abroad and implications. Were there probably conversations that you would have had with the Irish rugby team and with management there over your chances?
No, we had one or two chats, and it was kind of along the lines, this is what will most likely happen if you don't re-sign with us and those kind of things. So
did you have those conversations?
I had chats with Joe and Lucifora and
Nasty.
Yeah.
Did you how did it go? Was Joe like, if you go?
It was kind of like I kind of got the impression that if you go, you won't be involved. And I can understand why Johnny played. He was one of the best in the world. So important to Joe and how Ireland wanted to play. And a halfback is the conductor of the team essentially. And when you're that level, I can understand. And there was other young players and talent coming around in the back three. Like Jacob Stockdale started to get more game time when I left, and there was another couple of players
getting back to the form.
Yeah. Good on him.
Brilliant form.
Yeah, good on him.
Was it 2018? He was.
Yeah, that's Six Nations. He was on fire.
8 tries and 7 or 8
loads of intercepts and stuff. Yeah, he did really well. Yeah. But like. Obviously, if it was a form thing back then, there wasn't anybody in Ireland playing the level I was.
Captain
you look, but I knew I was out the country, so I had the feeling that I wouldn't be picked.
Going back, I know we mentioned Stockdale there, and probably the epitome of bursting onto the scene, but something that you definitely did as well under Declan Kidney in 2012, and then moving into then 2013, and obviously we mentioned it earlier, and we mentioned it with Murray as well, the flick.
That was cool.
For you, it all obviously happened quick in the grand scheme of things as well, but going back to there, what did you felt that you had maybe different to previous Irish back three players, when you first came on to that Irish scene?
I
think from the outside it looked like more flair.
It's very hard sometimes, you're talking about yourself. Zeebs, I remember coming into the change room and it was like, and I don't want to be making you feel uncomfortable, but do you remember you could give Zeebs 3 darts? You'd be like, John Ryan plays darts, he could hit 120, but like Zeebs hit 180. No. Right, you could give him a hurley, you'd be like, put it over from here. You could give him a soccer ball. It was just, you had this natural talent always at like at these ridiculous flick. You could just do, you had like talent that other players, we just didn't have, a lot of players. I think that was something innate in you that probably a lot of us didn't have. And
a lot of that comes from childhood. Like my sister was like 6 years older than me, so I didn't have an older sibling really to play with or practice. So I used to just be out with at the wall at the end of my park, no matter what the ball was, or hurley or slitter or whatever. I would just be out for hours on end, like on my own, or with 1 or 2 buddies, but just always doing the same thing. And like whether soccer, taking free kicks on goal and having no goalkeeper, so I'd have to chase the ball every time as punishment. Like if I missed it, I was like just relentless. Hours. Nobody would like skill wise. Nobody can mess.
I'm going to jump in.
Nobody.
The other side of it was we'd be doing a Bronco. I did it me, Archer, John Rowe, in all the front rows, and we're doing the test anyway, the 1K test, lap 5 or 6, and geez, he was back here with us. Come lap 8 or 9, he literally would turn and start laughing, and he would, it's a max test, so you're supposed to go max from the start out. Like, what is he doing here back with us? And we're kind of panting going away, and you'd have all the backs a lap or two ahead, so he was kind of cruising away. Next minute, zoom. And laughing. And the coaches kind of turned their hair out. Like, he obviously probably got a ridiculous score, but he could have got a way better score. Yeah.
I got murdered for that.
Murdered a few times. But he'd be laughing at it.
I'm like trying to save my energy to have a good kick. Like, I'm watching too much athletics, watching Mo Farah and these guys running. And but yeah,
like your technique.
Yeah. That stuff, that talent and that things come from playing as a kid all the time outside. Nowadays it's very different with all the gadgets and PS switches.
Oh, the GPS have you now.
And then those first couple of years, obviously some amazing moments and big tries, playing very well at provincial level. Then obviously came around to 2015, and I think probably from watching in from as a fan perspective, one of my favourite Simon Zebo in Irish jersey, featured heavily in Six Nations, and then came to the World Cup and probably not the game time expected, really.
I would have preferred more game time, absolutely. That was one of the best years.
Yeah,
form. Nobody. When I look back on it now, I thought it was crazy how I didn't play more in that World Cup. My granddad died after the Romania game, the morning of the Romania game, where. Granted, the opposition wasn't great, but my form was like through the roof. And even in the warm-ups and stuff, the Scotland game we played, it was man of the match, and like all year, Munster as well. So I was disappointed not to feature more in the World Cup. But my granddad passed away the week of the Italy game, and I was named to start in that game on the Saturday, and I had to fly home to Cork to bury my granddad, and then fly back midweek. And that Italy game was a bit of a stalemate. Pete had one try-saving tackle in the corner, and we kind of scrapped it out, and I didn't have my best game. But then I was dropped for the France game, which was disappointing. Even though I didn't play poorly or anything, there was just a lot of changes after the Italy game, and I was one of them. And
it was bizarre, and I think from the outside, a lot of people were maybe like, it was that sort of a spark and that confidence that we were maybe missing, especially against Argentina. It was failed to ever really get going, and I think we've even chatted off air a few times over coffee about management and how you're almost being told you're not involved as well. Are there deep conversations and reasoning why Joe would have said to you, I'm not going with you for let's say the France game or for Argentina?
No, I don't. We wouldn't have had that relationship for sure. It's just check the team sheet on the board. Okay, not in it. Out you go.
And that would have been probably similar from your experience.
Yeah. And I suppose that's one. We've obviously chatted about players there who had a big influence in you. Looking back, you look at them out. People are saying the amount of coaches we went through in Munster.
Yeah.
No, I know, but then you also get to work with these incredible players. Coaches with Munster and Ireland. If you to pick coaches who had a massive influence on you, who would you be?
Rassie would be number one for sure. I thought he's the best coach I've ever had. I loved him. We had a bad culture for a year or two in Munster, and when Rassie came in, that got put to bed very fast.
Do you remember how quick he ironed it out?
Yeah. Just I miss that old school. Just say it how it is. No BS. There's no players second guessing, or thinking, does he like me, or did I say trying to be little political animals like Rassie will push you.
Even when Craig said that the Deadwood came from Rassie, that term. I remember we played, I think it was Cardiff, maybe could have been Rassie's first game over. I woke up the following morning, I was like, you've been added to the group virus, and I was like, jeez,
oh baby.
And then I was like, this isn't great now. So in the morning, I was like, I thought I played quite well. And but then I saw all the names being added. I was like, geez, this is a bit mad. And we went in. I remember Rassie, when he came in after the loss, he looked around and he saw people congregating in the corner, giving out bitching, kind of moaning, blaming, all this. And he was so emotionally intelligent. He was seeing things that you lose a game. This could have happened before a few times, and all these sayings are for a reason, misery likes company, or blaming someone else. And he was looking around what happened. So we all got added to this group. Remember on the Monday we brought out, do you remember he flogged us that Monday morning? It was 9 or 8 in the morning, and he gave a big meeting about basically the idea of the virus is basically, if you don't take the ownership or the accountability, and you're going to pull another fella down with you after it. And that's how Deadwood came up this term, and he made it and after that he started getting rid of fellas then, and started and he changed the whole culture and made us all it was
He had a huge influence on all of us. Not just me. All of us. Even players who didn't really like him or get selected by him had an unbelievable amount of respect for him. You know, and I think I just think I've never seen anybody as good a coach, tactician, or empowering or instilling belief in players. You know, and
thinks outside the box.
Unbelievable. Yeah, he does. Him and Jacques Nina were together, were an amazing
It's like
duo.
good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But yeah, and I knew as soon as he left, you never be bitter, but from with my Munster hat on, I never wanted him to leave. I thought he will take us to the Holy Grail, and I knew straight away if he had the talent pool like South Africa has and the size, and it's like there's no way that he won't win a World Cup with them, and I think my uncle won a few bob after he said back then, because they were South Africa were in a bad spot when Rassie took over as well. And
that's hilarious, because I remember Rassie going, we played South Africa up in the Aviva, and he texted me to get tickets. So I met him in the Shelbourne, gave him and Jock tickets, and I remember Jock telling me this then, that we beat South Africa well that day in South Africa, and he said to him, he's like, we have a country of like 48 million people. How? And he was like, no, we can sort this out. I know. Yeah. And look what he did.
And even whatever about the main team, the generation coming up below, the talent now that they have at their disposal for the next, oh my god, I think they're going to be the new All Blacks. Like there was 20, 30 years, even longer, where nobody could touch the All Blacks. I think this
But he did that when he came in with us. I remember seeing, like, he did a depth chart, and he'd like Zebes, and right down to like nearly sub-academy, schools level. But you look at South Africa now, you got Tightheads, Alone, Malherbe, Vincent Koch, Wilco Lowe, Thomas Dutoy, the Lions, as in, you fight.
Say his name? Pronounce his name? It's a big thing.
You try it.
Do you think if he was there another couple of years, could have been more silverware, sort of Munster-wide?
For me, 100%, yeah.
You went after he left, did you?
After Rassie? No. Rassie, yeah. So I went... Rassie was the coach while I was kind of negotiating, but it wasn't because of him, or, he didn't have a hand in it per se, but I left before him. No, after him, I think. I actually can't really remember. It was a Johan. Coach came in. Johan came in. Yeah. When Johan came in, so Rassie left. Sorry, I was after Rassie, yeah. So Rassie left, Johan came in, and then I had about half a season with Johan van Graan. And really enjoyed that time with Johan as well. He was a great coach too.
And you look at Johan now.
Yeah.
Would you chat much to Zebo still to Finn now over working with Johan inside?
Yeah.
Like, he's built a machine over there in a way as well.
Unreal.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah. He's done very well for himself, and he's got a great squad of players too.
Yeah.
But Johan was unique, he's very different. It was a big contrast from him with and Rassie, obviously, but over there in Bath, he's excelling, and he's got a young group of players. They've won the Premiership. They did a triple last year now. They're riding the wave at the moment, and if Finn stays healthy, they could continue it. But he's a great coach too. Yeah.
What's Finn like as well? Like, obviously you would have come up against Finn Russell, and you would have played alongside him. I know you mentioned him in the same breath as O'Gara.
Skill wise.
Yeah. What's main differences, I suppose, between the two of them, teammates wise, and suiting you?
The main difference between them?
Yeah, was there some similarities in terms of way they played linked?
Yeah, like in terms of our relationship, like
probably knew how talented you were, like at Raj.
Yeah,
knew to get you the ball.
Exactly, very similar. Yeah, like they go out of their way.
Rub the brain.
There was a mutual respect there, and like similar in, I suppose, how ballsy they were to make big plays in big moments in big games, and like I think if you have a good relationship with your halfback, when the pressure's on, they're going to find the familiar voice. So I wouldn't force it, but I'd naturally gravitate towards Conor
good
Murray.
Players want the ball.
Yeah, and I always want the ball. I want the chance to do something. and those lads, those kind of big conducttors of a team, are crying out for players who desire the ball. Like who's looking for, who's
Who
pretending they want it, or who'll actually make something happen. Because there's a lot of, you know, chatter in the background, like, and fellas being, you know, I'm watching rugby nowadays, I see fellas like all the hands up and they know all the motions to make it look like they really want the ball, but do you really want the ball, like, with 5 minutes to go and, you know, you're down by 4? Are you going to be the one to make the play? And those guys love wingers and back three who, you know, accept that moment and take it on. So yeah, we naturally had good relationship off the pitch with both those 10s, but I suppose the biggest similarity would be the skill level under duress and big moments, and big, you know, in big times and again, big pressure situations.
Would you ever like to go over to top 14? I know you were saying it was a childhood dream of yours, Simon, but
I'm waiting for the Saudi League to get going.
Yeah, or 360.
Mike Tyndall gives a call.
No, I think I had this chat with Murray as well. I never really, like, Munster was always, and it was, I know it was the same for you as well as you.
Yeah.
Munster was always your home and everything, and I admire how much, and you were fluent French going over as well.
Yeah. Big difference.
And your dad Martinique, you know,
Yeah.
you had like, and you always wanted, I never had that graw to go. I was very content, like, my family, friends, everything was Limerick, Munster. That's all I ever wanted.
Yeah.
You know, you had it in the background in your head growing up, and to have gotten to do it in your prime, Rassie, Paris, like, that's. And when often people, I remember chatting to Paulie before, and they're like chatting about, like, you look back, did you win this? It's the It's not it. It's the journey. It's the relationships. And people said to me before as well about the amount of coaches he went through at Munster, and then I'm like, yeah, okay. Or I got to work under like a Rob Penny, Rassie, you know, a Johan, Axel. I know they're all different, but these experiences with these different people that teach you such different things. Bar Murray in the book, obviously, in Wiggy's.
Oh my God.
Good and bad.
But that is
for
like
everyone.
The medals, like, or whatever, like, you know, you've won medals, you've won trophies, you won medals, but you're not going to be going into a bar in 15 years' time with the medals around your neck, or, you know, bringing them up in conversation. I won this, you know. Who wants to be that guy sitting in a bar saying, I won this, I won that? Medals are great for grandkids, for 5 minutes, look what I won. But they want to hear stories. They want to hear about experiences. They don't give a shit about a material medal. Of course, it's what you're striving to achieve. You want to win Champions Cups. You want to win World Cups. Absolutely. But the memories and the experiences
and how you
are what you hold on to.
And the characters, how you made people feel.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I went to France. Finn ended up being groomsman at my wedding. You know, like, I have a relationship with him for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? We, one of my best friends. First thing we talk about when we speak about our time of wrestling, we don't talk about any rugby. You don't talk about any matches. And I think you'd be a bit self-indulgent and egotistical if down the line all you care about is, you know, medals to show off, because someone will have more than you.
Is Munster, I feel it's different to most other teams. So I know Leinster is a conveyor belt of talent, but I suppose the history and almost maybe the following and the fans of Munster seems more community driven. I know you were such big parts of it and didn't maybe experience elsewhere, but it does feel different from an Irish point of view anyway, that the
Munster fans,
and connection to players, like, it seems closer.
It's not even a competition. There's Munster and everybody else. Like, look at 2006, look at the video scenes when it goes back to O'Connell Street. Who else would be go fan? Toulouse have a great fan base, you know, but do they travel like the Irish? Do they travel like Munster? I don't know.
The scenes in La Rochelle after that Champions Cup looks pretty good,
amazing. A small town, class, but I still think no matter where you go in the world, you'll always find Munster fans. No matter how far you'll see a Munster flag on screen somewhere. You know, it's mental.
You think of, like, even getting off and you could take a random place, like in a Heightening Cup game in Cast, like a random place. You get off the bus and you're just looking around and it's...
And you don't really understand it. Like, even if you're a support, with my supporters cap on, being a supporter, I don't see it as much as I did until I referenced playing. You know, when you're playing and you get to experience it week on week, and the places that they travel to, and the fanfare, like when you're in town, and it's just very hard to replicate and to describe. And you probably get some journalists giving out about what I said, but like unless you're on the bus going to the matches, you don't understand what it's like. It's hard to put into words for me how amazing the Munster fans are, because I never do it justice. You never seem to, really encapsulate it in a sentence, but yeah, so special.
Phoebes, talk to me, away from rugby.
Yes, baby.
Done a year punditry, and obviously, did coaching ever come into your head? Like, was that ever something that, like, obviously I know close to the kids, you were there this morning watching them playing, is that something, did it ever enter a thought in your head?
Not too much, no, because I see the workload that they go through, and
weekends back with the kids now.
Yeah, now I just have my weekends back to be able to watch all my kids' sport, and I know, like, I don't want to be coding all week and preparing.
Barely trying your laptop anyway. So.
Yeah, I can barely. Yeah. I'd be in serious trouble.
Here, bring up that bottle there. Tell us about this, though. Give us a shot of it.
Get that on screen there, lads. This is an exclusive. No, it's my whiskey.
Brilliant. Yeah, congratulations. First of all,
this is actually for you, my friend. This is for you. I brought this for you, legend. By the way.
How did you get into it?
Through conversation with buddies over the year.
You're
always thinking to do something good, and I never wanted to put my hand into something I wasn't fully invested in. And you'd have different things approached to you by certain people throughout your career, and nothing really stuck or said I can put my name to that, or I'd like to work at that or invest my time into that. Funnily enough, my dad was a big whiskey collector, and when I was younger, so it's funny now that I'm involved in a whiskey as well. But it's a very exciting journey, and it's nice that I left the team and I straight into a team. I didn't see that happening. I thought, I'm going to be lone wolf now for a while. I'll be slow to respond.
People, baby.
But no, it's been a very, very fun journey so far. So yeah, more markets and more exciting times ahead.
Best luck with it.
Thanks a million, guys.
Simon, I know we could go on for much longer, but it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the couch here. Dave, another good one.
Incredible man. We wish you all success, Steve. I'm sure it will be as your career always was. So
thank you, bro.
Thanks for coming.